78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC, Lions Den basketball community in this case. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. So, Giannis Antetokounmpo of my Milwaukee Bucks pulls no punches in this new Bleacher Report interview that took place actually on Friday, okay, after the Memphis Grizzlies game, where Giannis and the rest of the Bucks starters set out that game. Bleacher Report interviewed Giannis, and I'm going to read some of that here, and we're going to have a discussion about some of the things Giannis said here. Giannis was asked about the MVP race, and the way the question was framed to Giannis was, what's your thoughts on the MVP race? The media has basically centered this pretty much around Jokic and Embiid. Giannis says, all right, let's sit down. We got to talk about this. He says, I'm quoting here, let's go sit down because now you're going to get me upset. The Star told Bleacher Report, let's go sit down on the steps. Well, no, I need to be comfortable. Let's go over here. Look, I will never try to create a narrative about the work I put in, and maybe that might hurt me because I believe the last 5 years I've been MVP. Antetokounmpo stated firmly to Bleacher Report, do I want a third MVP? Hell effing yeah, I want a third one. I am extremely competitive. I try to make my team successful. That's what I get paid for. That's what I'm here for. I'm not going to be one. I'm not going to be the one who discredits anyone else's work. That's not who I am as a person. And I will never beg for an MVP award that I believe I deserve. I'm very proud, and I'm able to pay. He said, I'm very proud I'm able to play at an MVP level because that means I'm making my team very successful. That's the goal. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Can I say this? 2 of my MVPs I won in the last 5 years, those were my 2 worst seasons, okay, in that span. Antetokounmpo told Bleacher Report, go pull up the stats. But it doesn't even matter. I've tried to avoid this conversation at all costs. I don't ever want to drive a narrative and have my kids sing their father whining about an award because at the end of the day, it's all a part of history. I don't want to win that way. All right? Maybe people are just tired of me. And look, I'll be tired of me myself. He says, I'm not going to lie, right? He says his wife is tired of him as well. He says, he's talking about his significant other. But at the end of the day, I will try to be consistent. I will try to be as dominant as I can, and I will try to help my team be successful as many years as I can and as many years as my legs allow me to be. Eventually, they're going to be like, man, give this guy this MVP because he's still here. That's what's going to happen. All right? In 2019, it was hard. I was hooping all year, but I made it successful. Then when then we went to the bubble. I felt I left my family, my newborn kid, but it was effing worth it. That was what those MVP trophies. Well, basically, I don't have to read the whole thing. You get it. I don't want to read the whole article, but you can find it on Bleacher Report. Giannis is basically saying that he's the MVP. Okay, that's what he's saying, and he's saying that he believes he's been the MVP for the last 5 years. He believes that, and it was a few shots up in there fired at guys like Joel Embiid and Jokic. He said that he's not going to beg for the MVP. He don't want to be seen as whining. He don't want to create a narrative out there. He's very competitive. He wants his third MVP. he feel like he's been the best player in the league for the last 5 years. And I agree with him. I mean, it's an argument. Sure, you can say Joel Embiid has played phenomenal basketball. Okay, Jokic has played phenomenal basketball. But the difference here, especially when you talk about Jokic, Jokic doesn't play any defense. He can. I mean, he gets away with not playing defense. Nobody expects him to play defense. Nobody criticizes him for not playing defense. Jokic is just an offensive machine. You know what I mean? He scores. He passes very well. He rebounds very well. All right. Joel Embiid is a monster offensively, and he can play much better defense than Joker. Okay. Currently, Joel Embiid is the scoring champion for this year with 33.1 points per game. Giannis is in the top 5. He's 5th in scoring this year at 31.1 points per game, and I believe that is the highest scoring. I gotta check that stat before I say that, but I believe that's the highest scoring total for a power forward ever, unless it drops some. I know me and Too Raw for Sports was talking about this about a month or two ago. Unless I'm not sure, I gotta go check. Okay, Giannis is currently second in rebounding, tied with Jokic in rebounding. So Giannis is in the top 5 in scoring. He's in the top 2 in rebounds. Okay, Jokic is in the top 5 in rebounding and the top 5 in assists. He's 3rd in assists for a big man, so that's pretty good. All right. Joel Embiid doesn't show up anywhere else other than scoring. I thought he would be in the rebounding category, but he's not in the top 5 in rebounding. Matter of fact, let me check and see what Joel Embiid is on rebounding here. That's interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, Joel Embiid is currently 7th, so he's not in the top 5 in rebounding. All right. Now, as for team, how good these guys' teams are doing. Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks have a record of 58-24. They set everybody the last 2 games. They could have easily won 60 games, but they set people down to rest. So they have the best record in the NBA. Joel Embiid, his team was 54-28. All right. They are currently 3rd in the East, but still have a better record than Nikola Jokic out west. Out west, Nikola Jokic and Denver Nuggets are 54-29. So both Giannis and Embiid were able to get their teams to a more successful regular season than Nikola Jokic. So if that means anything, then this would be the perfect time to point that out. If you're judging the MVP off of that, okay. My personal opinion, I think this comes down to Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. I think Giannis definitely wanted the MVP. I could tell in his play. Whenever he played against another MVP, he tried to do too much all the time. He was always real excited to play against another MVP candidate. And I can tell he wanted it. You know what I'm saying? And he showed up to compete. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm a little biased because I'm a Bucks fan, a Giannis fan. So, it is what it is. Call it for what you want to call it for. But Giannis is my MVP for this year. He probably won't win it. I suspect either Jokic will get his 3rd straight MVP, which I think is unfair. I don't think Jokic has done anything to deserve 3 straight MVPs, putting them in that class. I just don't get it. Because if you have Giannis fatigue, if the voters had Giannis fatigue, I don't understand why they don't have Jokic fatigue yet. I don't get it. For the life of me, I don't understand it. And found something interesting to go back to what Kendrick Perkins said about the MVP and how the guys who get the MVP votes are not black. Charles Barkley recently was asked about who was his MVP, and he said, well, I don't have a vote. He said, but if I did have a vote, it would be Giannis or Embiid. Okay? And the guy asked Charles, well, why don't you have a vote? He says, I don't know. He said the only guy on Inside the NBA, this hit show that even has a vote is Ernie Johnson. Now, that's interesting, ain't it? Ernie Johnson is the only person on that show that has a vote for MVP. Interesting. Okay. So Giannis, he seemed to be triggered by this conversation. He seemed to be a little upset. I think Giannis feels a little underappreciated. And my message to Champ is this: take it out on the court. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about the MVP. I'd rather you win Finals MVP anyway. Run that back. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the Finals MVP again. You know, people forgot. You know what I'm saying? They worried about the Boston Celtics and all this other stuff. If they want to give Joker the MVP for the third straight time, let them do it. If they want to give Embiid the MVP for his first time getting one, so be it. I would much rather Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks win an NBA championship again and Giannis win that Finals MVP. I think you run the score up that way. You know what I'm saying? Run the score up that way, man. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Who is the league's MVP this year between Giannis, Joker, and Embiid? 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty LDBC, and I holla.